The RAD podcast is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of the RAD podcast, Random Ass Discussion, the podcast where anything is the topic and nothing is taboo. Joining us this week we have Alan Morrison.
Hello.
His laptop has survived the intro this time. We have Lewis Ogden.
Hello.
And we have the last one himself, Adam Cox.
Hello.
How are you guys doing? How's your week's been?
Not too bad.
It's been
Same, can't complain.
Of 46 and a half hours at work and Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah, and copious amounts of fucking wrestling. I worked in a bit of maths in my head. Now, if you went to Preston City Wrestling, you caught Wrestlemania, you caught NXT TakeOver, you caught Raw, you caught SmackDown. I don't even add it in, actually, this week's edition of NXT. You've worked, and you obviously watched PC. We went to Preston City Wrestling just before WrestleMania. You have watched this week 17 hours of wrestling. So,
More or less
thank
a
God
full-time
it's
job.
thank God it's one of them that only comes around once a year.
yeah, because I couldn't do it because I am fucked. I'm still recovering.
Well, as I say, it's taken me up until yesterday to get back into my regular sleeping pattern. 'Cause
Yeah.
that Mania just fucked me up.
Yeah, I referred to WrestleMania as the WrestleMania Sunday. When I go to a show beforehand, I could refer it as Wrestling Christmas. But it's not Wrestling Christmas, it's just painful. It really is, you are sore the next day.
That wasn't too bad, actually.
Well, I was going to save this conversation for later, but we might as well dive straight into it. What do you guys do for WrestleMania?
We sat round at copious amounts of food and watched wrestling while again having a few drinks.
And I believe, yeah. Well, I kind of did something similar, but I ended up sitting on a bar floor for 7 hours.
Bar floor?
A bar floor, because we was in there. We were after the PCW show. Now, bear in mind, this is no fault of of Stephen Fludder and Preston City Wrestling, because obviously they don't organise the after show. They just say, "Look, we want to come to an after show. Can you facilitate?" Basically, so it was down to it's down to the bar to run the after party. And it was possibly the shittiest venue I've ever been to for a showing of something.
Where was it?
It was at a pub called the Ships and Giggles. It's up by the university. It is pokey as fuck. It was tiny. Obviously, Lewis this is what question won't be aimed at you, but I'm assuming Coxy and Alan might be aware of this. Have you ever been in the Lifeboat pub in Blackpool?
Yes.
You know how small that is? The Lifeboat, yes, on Vauxhall Road.
Yeah, it's literally 30 seconds from where I work.
Yeah, you know exactly where it is.
It's literally, you walk in, you've got the bar on your right-hand side, right, and then you've got a room that's about the same size, I don't know.
It's somebody's front room. If it's a reasonable sized front room.
It's like a decent sized front room. It's literally it's like 24 feet by easily 12 feet.
Yeah, it's small.
It's poxy. Another good good thingy about it is the Mitre in Blackpool Town Centre.
Yeah, that's small as well.
That it's like that.
But yeah, if you had the Lifeboat and you made it turn it into an L shape, the same dimensions, that was the size of the venue.
Brilliant.
It was tiny. I mean, I think there must have been. I think I counted about 6 tables in the whole building. There's more in the smoking area, but if this time of year you sit outside, you're going to freeze. So, especially at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. So you watch it indoors, and I was sat on a step, probably about 6 foot away from the big screen. So I was sat looking up for 7 hours. Yeah, it wasn't the best.
So next time you find out where the venue is, bring deck chairs.
I've made a decision. I'm not going to a WrestleMania screening again. I'm going to watch it at home or watch it at somebody else's. Yeah, where I can actually be comfortable. Yeah, or somewhere I can actually be comfortable and realise that my arse feels like it's fell off because I've been sat on a cold floor for fucking 7 hours and it's gone numb.
Well, if you don't mind sitting in Alan's desk chair for about 7 hours, then you should be okay.
That's fine by me. I've done it for 24 hours, if you remember, Alan.
Yep.
So yeah, it's fine. I watched the 24 hours of Le Mans with Alan's once, so.
I see.
So I've sat there for quite a while, and it was all right. I enjoyed it. I fucked up though because the first Blackpool show for PCW in the Tower Circus though is on the same day as Le Mans 24 hours, so I fucked myself there. So, but hey ho, I paid my money now, so I'll be going, and then I'll be rushing home and watching Le Mans.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it could have been better, my WrestleMania experience, I should put it that way. The PCW show was alright. Weren't anything special. There was one great match on, though. It was Mike Bailey versus Ashton Smith. That was fucking phenomenal.
I trained in the morning with Mike Bailey.
Yeah.
Which is quite cool.
Yeah, it was a great fucking match. Everything else was, apart from the very, very predictable Hooligans win, it was all right. I mean, it was worth the money alone seeing the celebration, but other than that, you would not really miss much.
I think that sort of thing, it's more of an experience.
Yeah.
You're surrounded with 200 plus wrestling fans. You're watching a wrestling match live, and then you're going to watch WrestleMania with those fans. So I can understand. I do have to take this. There's a couple of bars down in London that got a special license to view the WrestleMania. And there's a picture knocking around on Twitter, and one of the bars was just rammed. I mean, there was literally says the caption was 500 plus people in one venue for WrestleMania. Beat this, you pisshead chavs.
But yeah, it was rammed. I mean, as you say, it's pretty special having all the fans around you, all in one place, watching the main show that we watch every year. And the biggest moment for me that night was the pop that the Hardy Boys got.
Yep.
The roof pretty much just came off the fucking place. It was insane. It was one of the most predictable things ever. But when it still happened, it was still the most awesome thing ever.
Yep.
I think the teasing of the New Day possibly announcing themselves in the Rumble match themselves.
Yeah, that helped. That helped
considerably.
Yeah, because he thought, is it going to be the Hardy Boys? Is it going to be the Hardy Boys?
And
all of a sudden the music goes, and then the music hits and goes, it's the fucking Hardy Boys!
Yeah.
I'm 12 again! So yeah, it was one of them moments. But just quickly, sorry, go on.
For the rest of the night, me and Matt at times just kept doing delete.
Yeah, that was the peak of the show. That was the apex of the show. And then it started to slowly go downhill, and then you hit Pitbull. Then you hit the Pitbull.
I'd say it really went off a cliff when the sort of the concert, the halfway concert started.
It wasn't even halfway though. It was 2/3 of the way in, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. And
you got to Pitbull, the Pitbull performance, and all of a sudden just went bye like a fucking lemming. It dropped. It was.
But for the so-called second half, the best match of that had to be the women's.
I disagree with that.
I really enjoyed that.
I disagree with that. I'd say possibly for what it was, the Lesnar-Goldberg match was probably the better match after that point, because it was exactly what it needed to be.
I definitely agree with that.
And every move meant something. It didn't need to be a 15-minute clinic. Those guys, it's like watching two heavyweight boxers.
Exactly. It's supposed to be hard hitting. You want to see as much. Well, do you want to see as much hard hitting action from two big, massive heavyweight brawlers as you possibly can? It actually included one of my favourite moments of the entire event of the match kicking off. Lesnar hitting 3 German suplexes and him just going "Rah!" and he turns right around and Goldberg plows right through him with a spear.
Yeah,
one of the best spears that I've ever seen.
Exactly,
so fucking great.
Exactly, it's exactly what it needed. I mean, there was no point in doing pissy rest holds and things like that. It's not what those two guys are all about. They're all about knocking the flying fuck out of each other as quickly as possible, and that's exactly what the match gave us.
But what kind of really put a smile on my face was the Lesnar jump, as it's been now known.
That was great.
That was fantastic.
He leaped. He didn't just like leapfrogged over Goldberg. He leaped over.
Yeah. But that was great. I enjoyed that. I know Coxy, you've done a review already, haven't you? But obviously, without going too much detail, because I don't want to really dwell on WrestleMania too much, because you've done a review and I don't want to step on your toes. What did you think briefly of certain elements that you thought that stood out, positively and negatively?
We'll start with the positive. There was like sort of 2 positives coming out of it, and I can't remember the first one. But the one that had me near dying on the floor laughing was Carmella's selling when she got kicked in the back. And her response was simply to call a loud, audible "ow."
Yes.
It was like, that's fucking Luger selling right there.
It was great, to be fair. And what the fuck was James Ellsworth wearing? Fucking hell.
Who cares? It's James fucking Ellsworth.
I do love the guy. I'm brutally honest, I do love him. But he's there. This means if he can get to the WWE, any fucker can.
Exactly.
But yeah, negatives. Too long.
Yeah.
Just general.
Yeah. Well, we did the pre-show as well as the main show.
Yeah, same as us.
We did as well.
Yeah, likewise.
Card lineup, sort of the positioning stuff could have been better. They should have had Pitbull on at the very beginning rather than towards the end.
Yeah, I would rather have had that.
Triple H's entrance was a load of shit.
Oh yeah. Did anyone say it was like loads of when that came on? Loads of Twitter explosions. So he goes like relationship status or there's a picture of a converted mobility scooter. And you got a fat guy driving it, with a fat woman stood on top holding him. It was like wow, but it did annoy him because I know the guys who built that bike, and he put a lot of work and effort into that bike. And for him to come out like that, it was just like, oh, well, that's pointless. You've just spent $25,500 doing a fucking bike up, which only gets something like 15 minutes of, not even that, 3 minutes of fame. I would have
even then, it didn't look. I said at the time it looked like a really corny, like hilarious looking entrance. Like I had loads of people just going, "Oh, this entrance looks really cool." It's just like Triple H coming out in his mobility scooter with Stephanie up on the back.
It honestly did.
Really positive, really.
Stephanie McMahon was stunning.
Like, biker Steph in like leather hot pants was big thumbs up for me.
Yeah,
it wasn't the only thing that was up, though, was it?
95% of all the male population all went, yeah, I still would.
Yeah.
Well, that guy made his voice known on SmackDown the week before when there's like the Shane AJ bit and it just goes quiet and then someone just shouts top of his voice, "Your sister's hot!" And you see Shane just sort of crack a smirk. Like, he heard that.
He's thinking, you're not wrong.
Actually, was when they announced that Shane and AJ Styles were going, was the opening match of the actual main event, we were like going, "What? Really?
Why?
Early?"
Why is this opening the show?
Yeah, we also pulled a huh?
Yeah, it was like, what the
Oh.
fuck?
But I'll give it that. Surprisingly, it was rather an entertaining match.
It was a fucking great match. I mean, it showed how good. It showed how good Shane could actually chain wrestle.
Not only that, he did a fucking spot on, as Lewis will agree on this one, did a spot on, was it rope to rope? Oh, what's his move?
Coast to coast.
Coast to coast, that's it. I couldn't think
Coast
of
to
that.
coast.
Yeah, coast to coast. We were sat there going, he nailed that spot on. That was really good.
Yeah, he did. The boy did good.
It was
I think it's the most. I think it's probably the best match that you could probably get out of Shane McMahon that is a standard one-on-one wrestling match.
Agreed.
Because I was going into it saying like, it's just a regular singles match. There's no DQ stip. It's not going to be like no holds barred. Just like, it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be rather painful. I mean, like I said on the previous show, it was just like at the time I was thinking, God, I know AJ Styles is good, but you know, it's Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
But, surprisingly, he didn't do too bad.
He did well. All credit to him. I mean, he pulled off a fucking cracking match. So
still can't punch for shit.
Don't need to when you can coast to coast like he did. But overall, what did you think of the? Sorry, go on.
If you saw on SmackDown the confrontation between Shane and AJ had a massive fucking shiner under his left eye.
Yes.
It just shows that, you know, he still can't fucking pull his punches.
Yeah, the worst worked punches in wrestling. Absolutely. So overall, obviously, without going into too much detail, what was your overall opinion on WrestleMania as a whole?
It's been the better one I've seen in quite some time. That's saying quite a lot.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with that, Alan. I mean, and that's only on the strength of the first 2/3 of the show. After that, just like I say, yeah, watch the first 2/3 of the show. Watch the pre-show for the Neville Austin Aries match because that was fucking great. Then just go and watch the main show and watch it up to the point.
That was a really good
match. Watch it possibly to the end of the Lesnar Goldberg match and then turn it off. Personally,
I know I'd put the women's title in there because that was quite entertaining. I enjoyed that. And I've never been. I'll openly admit this. I've never been a fan of women wrestling because it's just basically an excuse to get two hot girls up there pulling each other's hair apart.
This is it.
So it's like, but that was genuinely a good show, a good match.
What about you, Coxy? Sorry, mate, go on.
I'd say that both the women's matches were sort of lost in the fray. I don't think there was anything sort of me thinking back over what happened at WrestleMania. I can't think that much of what happens during the women's matches because they were just
there.
They didn't stand out for me.
They were just they were just there. They weren't bad. They weren't great. They were just what they were. Coxy, what did you think overall? Just like very briefly.
Yeah, wasn't really overly keen on it as such. If I'd watched it by myself or watched it in a pub, if I watched it by myself, it would have just been shit.
You'd probably turned it off and gone to sleep.
Yeah, well, I would have packed it in at about 3 o'clock-ish.
Yeah.
If I'd have watched it in the pub, I probably would have just left going, what the fuck have I just watched? But it's like, it wasn't one of the better Manias, and I certainly wouldn't say it wasn't well, it wasn't a good Mania, it wasn't a bad Mania, it was very, very average.
So
it's like he's forgotten about last year.
So
atrocious.
Yeah. So if we give it a scale, we'll work a scale then. We'll all have a one-word answer for this. It's either a hit, shit, or meh. I'll start with Coxy.
I'm gonna go shit.
Fair enough. Alan?
Meh.
Lewis?
I go hit because there was more stuff than bad stuff.
And I'm going to agree with Lewis. I'm going to go with hit. Because obviously the good outweighs the shit in this. It's marginal. Very marginal, but
Definitely.
the good does outweigh the bad. So I would say go and watch it, but don't expect the world's greatest show, because it certainly isn't.
Don't expect it to be a modern day WrestleMania X7, because it's not what you're going to get.
No, absolutely not.
Also,
But it is a decent show.
Yeah, also have a bit of paper at hand and mark how many botches you think there was.
I don't want to know.
It was so good.
There was a lot. There is one match I do want to dwell on, but we'll talk about that in a moment. But Coxy, yeah, go on, mate.
I was going to say, going back to sort of your watching how you watched it and stuff. I'm guessing they probably went for shit and giggles, knowing how because of what happened at the previous year or the year before. It's the Corn Exchange.
Yes, the Corn Exchange. That was the one with the Hooligans there. It had Viper there. It had Will Ospreay there. It had Ken Anderson there.
Oh no, that one. I thought it was just Hooligans and Ken Anderson, wasn't it?
Oh, all them lot were there as well.
No, I didn't see him.
Yeah, but they were doing chops for shots. So you gave them a chop and they chopped you. There were none of that this year, as far as I'm aware.
From what I remember, though, there was like the Hooligans were essentially crowd surfing at one point.
They were. That was Ken Anderson.
Basically, just kicking shit out of stuff and smashing chairs and.
Yeah, they were mental. They were a little.
People weren't allowed back at Corn Exchange.
Nope, they didn't go back to Fishers.
Didn't go back to Fishers, probably for whatever reason.
Because it was shit.
Yeah, there's that. Adelphi, even though they run it every year, it's probably quite small.
The Adelphi had it on. From what I underheard as well, a lot of people left and paid a $5 to go to the Adelphi. So that's what they did. There weren't any really crazy antics that went, apart from our good friend Mark Turner. Shout out to him. He was half cut at the time when the Hooligans came in partway through the pre-show and decided to sneak up behind Mark while he was half asleep, sort of thing, jump up on his chair and basically thrust his dick into his head repeatedly. So
he was loving that.
So that happened.
Waking up, find a massive wrestler's package in your face. Why to heaven? No.
But what capped off, there was a guy who had been in the pub long before we all arrived, and he'd had, safe to say, he had a bit too much to drink, and was one of I will praise the pub for one thing, and that's the deals that they had on alcohol. You could get a 9-pint sort of jug.
Pitcher.
Wasn't a pitcher, mate. It had its own tap.
Oh.
With your glass. It got a big thing, like a vat.
Right.
And it had a tap on it where you got a glass. And, it was £9 for 9 pints.
What?
It was fucking amazing. And it was Carlsberg as well, so it weren't like cheap, no-brand crap.
Carlsberg?
Carlsberg.
No, that's shit, mate.
Yeah, still, but it's £9 for 9 pints. You can't go wrong.
I don't fucking care.
Hang on, no. Here's the thing. How would you rate your beers? What would you class as being shit, and what do you class as being really, really good? Because I would say Carlsberg's in between.
The Carlsberg's good because it's cheap and it's half decent.
There's a reason why it's cheap.
Yeah.
It's fucking Carlin and Foster's.
There's that. I can't drink Foster's.
I can if it's in pint form. Or a can.
There you go, you scummy little scout.
Hey, I don't fucking care. I've got my big 660ml bottle of Tisky that I didn't have during Mania because I'm celebrating International Beer Month.
Right, so
beer day.
Speaking of these beverages that I've just like just been explaining, go and have a look on the RAD group chat on Facebook, and just have a look, and I want your initial reaction to the size of these motherfuckers.
What the fuck?
Holy shit!
Yeah, they're 9 pints.
Cooked.
Yeah, 9 pints.
Christ.
Right, for the viewers who are, well, obviously you can't see this. The only way I can describe it is basically someone's taken a lid off a blender and just handed it over to him and says, "Fill this up, please."
It looks. Do you know what it looks like? It looks like one of the bombs out of Die Hard 3.
Yeah. No,
It
definitely is a blender variant.
Yeah, but he's got like a tap on it, and he's obviously there's 9 pints in that jug, and they were selling them for £9, which is I think it's a cracking deal.
If I were to describe it, it's as if you've picked up like a beaker from like a science class and probably like supersized it 10 times.
Yes. Yeah,
that's probably the only way I could describe it.
Yeah, it was huge. Yeah, he was fucked off his face with that stuff. So you can understand why, how much alcohol was there. But there was obviously because the bar is selling these sort of beverages. There was people already in the bar when we arrived who weren't staying for the Wrestlemania show, and there was a guy there who was absolutely slaughtered. I mean, he was asleep. And there was playing. I think there was playing Pissed Buckaroo with him, and the hooligans were playing Pissed Buckaroo because someone put a sombrero on his head, and then there was stacking all sorts like empty pint pots and all sorts on his head. It was fucking amazing because it got to the point where it was like I think it was a good like 2 or 3 foot off the top of his head balancing stuff, and he'd not moved. He was just fast asleep, snoring, pissed. But that was pretty much the craziest thing that happened this year, so it wasn't like a proper hooligan sort of WrestleMania after party, if you get what I mean. It was rather muted.
You have to get them told, don't you?
So, but yeah, I mean, I can't blame PCW and what have you for the facilities. It was a bit shoddy, if I'm brutally honest, so I don't think I'll be going to another one. I'll be probably visiting you guys, I think, next time.
More than welcome.
So, there we go. Obviously, if you want to hear a full review of WrestleMania, the pre-show, and the main show, go and check out Coxy's podcast. You go ahead and plug it right now if you want, Coxy.
Which one? Lost Art of Wrestling?
Yes, the Lost Art of Wrestling.
Yeah, find it on Spreaker, Stitcher, YouTube, iTunes, all of the good podcast platforms. It's no doubt going to become some sort of yearly thing we do now, where we have to do predictions and post-reaction pods. So
yeah, I think we did the predictions this year, didn't we? And then you did the review sort of thing. But I think you did your own predictions as well.
I ran down my own predictions plus my top 10 WrestleMania matches.
Yeah,
which was bloody difficult.
I can imagine. It'd be like me trying to run down their top 10 Formula 1 races of all time. I'd be like, what? That'll be hard.
I sort of borrowed Jim Smallman's rules.
Yeah.
But sort of, even then, it was still. I think one of the matches I used, there was sort of a person in. Well, I think it was Edge.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself while I was listening to it, hang on a minute, he's broke his own fucking rules here. No, I'll let him off.
So that's how difficult it was.
Yeah, it's not easy, which is all like fun stuff. I'm not going to tell him. But I thought, yeah, it was a good listen. So if you're a wrestling fan, I urge you to listen to it. Obviously, him and his good friend James Bunkle, they get into a lot more detail on the review, and they go through match by match what happened and what they liked, what they disliked. So yeah, it's a good listen. If you've got a few hours spare, or you just need some background noise, and you want, you into your wrestling, it's a good listen. So
if you want to hear us tear WrestleMania a new arsehole, essentially.
Yes. Yes. Basically.
Well, that's it. This was the thing I put on Facebook the other day, when it was on. It says it's one of those shows where you rip it apart, but you'll still watch the next one.
Yeah, because we're wrestling fans and we're a glutton for punishment. Very briefly, did any of you guys catch NXT TakeOver?
I did.
I only watched it today, so it's fresh on the brain. It was all right. Not special, not great.
I thought it was good.
It was all right. I thought the Nakamura match was all right. The standout match of the night would be for me the three-way tag match. That was fucking amazing.
Particularly with the double team between the double teams between DIY and the Revival against the Office of Pain were truly great.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the opener as well.
The opener was all right. Yeah, that was good. Anything with Nikki Cross in it, I'm a fan of. A little bit of a mark, but
I'm telling you why.
Go ahead. And I was a fan of, for reasons well documented, the Asuka Alba Moon match, I quite enjoyed as well.
Yeah.
But for possibly the wrong reasons, and not for the fact that it was the wrestling match that I was watching. But there's one match I want to go back to, and it's for me, it's probably the one reason why this WrestleMania, the main reason why this WrestleMania is going to be remembered, and that is the so-called retirement of the Undertaker. Now, I want to know. I'll start with Lewis. Your thoughts on the Undertaker possibly retiring?
I think it's for the best. I think I always hark back to an interview that Taker gave a few years ago, and it was basically the gist of, I don't want it to get to the to get to the stage where, people who have been watching me since they were a young kid and now they've got kids of their own up until this stage, and they're shown that they're watching a WrestleMania with the parents, and the parents just going, "Oh my God, it's the Undertaker!" I've been watching him ever since I was a kid, and the kids turn around and they're just like, "Dad, he's a broken old man. What do you see in him?" And it's basically just off. I don't want people of this generation looking at me as a broken down old man. If I leave when, I want to leave just before I ever get to that stage. And I think it's probably been a couple of years too many for him. I think probably after 30, when Lesnar beat the streak, I think if he was going to have one more match, it should have been the match that everybody would have wanted to see, which would have been against Sting, and then I think that would have been a good, I think that would have been a good last match to go out on. But I'm sort of glad that I'm glad for his sake, and I'm glad for his in-ring sake that he's potentially called it quits. Like, I'd hate for it to get a couple of years down the line and him thinking of maybe doing one more match, because I think it's sort of like, I'd want him to get to the stage that particularly like Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold are at the moment, where the ideas are presented to them of, would you ever come back to do one final match? And both of them have just gone, no, because I don't need to.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I say it's a potential retirement is because all he did was leave his clothes in the ring. Now, yeah, that's a very symbolic action, and it could mean he's retired, but it could also mean he's only retired the dead man gimmick. So I'm hoping it's the former, because I don't want to see, like you say, the broken old man trying his best to try and keep up with these guys that are coming over. And it's just like, it's like that meme in The Simpsons, like, stop it, he's already dead.
Mm.
I know he's a dead man, but, but I'd rather him stop now while he's sort of relatively healthy.
Absolutely. Well, you say relatively healthy, it was... He'd come off like major hip surgery just before the Rumble, and he's still in need of multiple more surgeries because his body's that broken.
Yeah, bearing in mind he wrestled one match a year since God knows when, pretty much.
Yeah, well, it's the equivalent. It's the equivalent of like with Goldberg. Goldberg was 50 years old, and he was basically trying to keep his. He was trying to get his body back to the point of what he was like when he was 28, 29 years old. And that's not fucking. It's not a good lifestyle to sort of be living, eating 6-7 times a day and working out as hard as he was working out. And he was making it mention in interviews just like, I'm fucking miserable. I'm hurting all over. This diet's fucking shit for somebody my age. I'm a fucking miserable fuck, and I can't wait for WrestleMania to come.
Fair play to him, at least he's honest about it. Coxy, what are your thoughts of Undertaker possibly retiring?
I'd have sort of been convinced to say, yeah, he's going to come back until when they did like the gloves off and stuff, and the jet sort of folded it up and left it there. But then the sort of the fact that he broke character and then went over to Michelle.
Who is that?
And sort of like kissed her and then walked up the ramp, and it was a whole like 30 minute ending or whatever, like a seeing off, and then he did the whole sort of Terminator ending with the fist in the air and going back down into the ramp.
Yeah, it's, as you say, like he's missed a kayfabe, isn't he? So the fact that he did break character is a possible giveaway. Well, not even a giveaway. It's almost a clarification.
He never turns up at the Hall of Fame just to simply stay in character.
Yeah.
It's plus it's like he's having double hip replacement or something coming up soon, which is pretty much going to sort of do him.
Well, it's the same with Foley as well.
Yeah. So
it's those cages that everyone keeps falling off. They just break you.
It's like though. I think it was James said it on Lost Art of Wrestling. It was like he should have really sort of called it quits after bloody Lesnar beat him.
Well, I read an article before, I can't remember who it was, but apparently there was talk of him retiring in 1997 because his body was that beat up.
Oh, he's been in pain and having problems since like the late 90s, yeah.
Yeah.
We sort of talked to calling it quits, but he stuck around.
This is it, he's been going on, for 20 odd years now, so... Well, yeah, it's about time I think he stopped. I think,
it would be good to see him come back, but not as a wrestler, but either a trainer or a coordinator or something like that. Because that man of that many years of experience,
he's going to have vats and vaults of information,
exactly,
and knowledge that he can pass down.
Because I can't believe I'm going to say this, and this really, really upsets me greatly. He has a soft spot for Roman Reigns. He says the guy has so much potential to be on the level that he is or was when he was height of his career. He says he's got so much potential of reaching that. He just needs to get rid of this stigma that everyone's got about him. He says, for him to go like, I'll take you under my wing and I'll teach you tricks of the trade and all that, and maybe you could bust through it.
Well, he's already had an impact of, sort of helping out behind the scenes, because Finn Balor's Demon entrance, it was actually Undertaker that was the main component of sort of working how, the gist of basically the Demon character, the actions and, the poses and stuff like that. That was all Undertaker.
Yeah, that would surprise me.
Here's a brain buster for you, and I can't remember who said it. It might have been you, Coxy, who said something about Aleister Black's entrance on NXT TakeOver. Now, Lewis, have you seen it? Did you say you've seen it? Yeah. Would you say that his entrance was very Undertaker-y?
I said this on a group chat.
Oh, it was on our group chat. Yeah, I remember.
I would say there was hints of the Undertaker in there.
Yeah, I absolutely 100% agree. Now, when Coxie said this, I was like, what, really? So this is one of the main reasons I wanted to watch TakeOver, was like, what was Coxy talking about in this entrance? Now I looked at it and I was like, holy fuck a duck! He actually could pass off as sort of like Undertaker-esque. Now here's what I thought, because I also, when I got that, I got, you know what I'm like for my ideas and things like that. I think of shit all the time, good and bad. Now, what I thought of is this: obviously the Undertaker's gimmick is, he's giving it up in a way. You could potentially say, who's to say that? Obviously, he could be serving a higher power. Who's to say somewhere down the line that the Undertaker sort of gimmick gets passed on as like a second coming sort of thing? Not called the Undertaker, obviously still called Aleister Black.
No, I get I get where you're coming from, Paul. But in all honesty, you can't have anybody sort of trying to be a carbon copy of the Undertaker, because there's only, it'd be the equivalent of somebody trying to be the next
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no one in the history of the world that would be able to do as good as a job as Mark Calloway did.
It'd come across as like a tribute act.
I've got the messages here.
Yeah.
And I said, I liked the almost supernatural-esque vibe about it. And then sort of Bunkle chimed in with, yeah, it was cool. Well, I want to see how they develop the character. I'm dreading him being a vampire or living an alternative lifestyle BS. Which I sort of chimed in with the fact that Tommy End was always sort of the anti-hero.
Which he actually mentioned.
Which I said could mean they push him as another Taker, but not pushing like the carbon copy, but pushing him as another... Like they are doing with Bray Wyatt in a way, where they're sort of pushing you as a bit like a supernatural.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mean like exactly a carbon copy of the Undertaker, like sort of like linked. If you know what I mean, sort of linked to like the Undertaker, perhaps, or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how if that would actually happen, how they would go about it, but it was just me shitballing. So I don't know, but yeah. I think it's time for Taker to hang it up now. Possibly, like you say, a few years too late. You know, because now when you think to yourself, what was the Undertaker? Was he that badass supernatural character, or was he the broken down old man who just didn't know when to give it up?
Well, it's sort of a bittersweet thing, because getting back to what's going to be coming up with WWE, they've got the big superstar shake-up that's happening next week, and the potential of, people going to different brands. It could set up some really interesting stuff to watch on the weekly TV show and the pay-per-views.
This is it. I mean, there's one thought I was thinking of. Obviously, there's heavy rumours of AJ Styles getting moved from SmackDown to Raw. Now, I can honestly see that as a... Obviously, you had if you watched SmackDown this week, you would have seen AJ Styles and Shane shake hands and have like a mutual respect for each other after their match at WrestleMania, which I thought was a nice touch and potentially a hint at AJ Styles turning. But what I could see happening is AJ Styles has said he wants to stay on SmackDown. He's obviously not had this conversation with Shane, so Shane might champion him to stay at SmackDown. Now, who's to say that obviously that he'll be traded behind Shane's back, and the potential seeds are there to turn Bryan heel?
I'm not sure about. I wouldn't be so sure about that. I mean,
I'm not sure about it. It's just like something that I picked up.
If you had the equivalent of like Styles going over to Raw, you'd have the prospect of, hooking back up with Gallows and Anderson, and then you've also got you could even turn it into sort of like a faction warfare, because you've got Triple H, and he's got Joe and Kevin Owens as his sort of backup, and then you'd have on sort of like the face side of AJ Styles, Gallows, and Anderson. And then you could have in the middle, you could have Finn Balor in the middle of everything, being that he's come back. So there'd be the possibility of Finn either joining up with the Authority side, or him going back with his old Bullet Club brethren.
Yeah, there's that as well.
Then the
Who knows?
come in and walk in, delete, like everyone's asses.
Yeah.
But the one thing with this superstar shake-up, if they are thinking of trading AJ over to Raw, who is SmackDown going to get in return?
Well, there was talk of Reigns going over that way, but I can't see that happening.
No, apparently he's staying on Raw.
I could honestly see until they got the number one contendership for the tag belts, they're splitting Sheamus and Cesaro up.
I don't think they'll. I reckon they'll keep Sheamus and Cesaro. There are heavy rumours that New Day are going to SmackDown, because God knows SmackDown need the freaking more prolific tag teams on that brand.
Yeah, I think that's almost a given. I've also heard Enzo Amore and Big Cass potentially going over, but now after hearing that before, I was like, no, because that would just basically destroy their tag division.
It couldn't do any worse.
This is it. Well, I hate to say, I'll be honest with you, I haven't a clue. Apparently, there's also rumours of Charlotte's being swapped for Alexa Bliss.
I was just reading up on Twitter then, and there's been stuff banded about that potentially Sasha Banks going over to SmackDown as well.
That would be good. That would be good. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I think the talent is very heavy on the Raw side. I think he's been booked better on the SmackDown side.
Definitely.
So that would be better on that.
I think it'll be an interesting week of TV.
Yes, it will be.
It'll be one of those that we just won't know what's going to happen until it's actually going on.
Indeed. Alan, Coxy, anything else to add on that before we move away from wrestling?
Nothing comes to mind.
Oh, one more thing. Kurt Angle.
Yeah, Kurt Angle's GM.
Yeah.
And he's not Mr. Step.
That's not how you spell soft.
Yeah, he's not Mr. Step. He's going to be great. Really looking forward to it. He's actually, over this week, I'd actually say, okay, the WrestleMania show hasn't been fantastic, perhaps, but it's made Raw and SmackDown more watchable, I've noticed.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. So actually coming off WrestleMania and hearing rumours and things like that, I was probably looking forward to watching Raw and SmackDown this week, and I am this week as well. So they're doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good on them. We'll move on anyway. Seeing as it's now at the 45-minute mark, Coxy, I believe you have something that you're going to ingest for us today.
Yeah.
He sounds thrilled.
Well, just looking at it, it's like it looks like it's a thing that should not be, really. It looks like it was made in like some sort of lab somewhere, and then buried in a lab, been like found again, and then someone's dug it up and gone, we'll put this in a bottle.
Are you sure you didn't buy it from the old half price or less shop and then just forgot about it all these years? Because they really did have some weird shit in that shop, if you remember. I remember, for example, they used to sell McCoys in there, but it was fried onion flavour McCoys.
You know, the half price or less shop was bought out by Pound. Not Pound, Home Bargains.
Home Bargains is exactly the same shop. I'm aware of that. But yeah, that's it harks back to the days of the half price or less shop in Hounds Hill, which was amazing. So yeah, back to this drink, Coxy. Tell us more about it.
It is Fanta. I'm going to try. I don't know how to even pronounce. Shokata. Shokata, something like that.
Shokata.
Yeah, SHO. And the rest of it, there's no English writing on it.
Oh, great! This bodes well.
There's a label that someone's like
stuck.
That says it's a soft drink with elderflower and lemon flavour.
Elderflower and lemon.
Yummy. That sounds delightful.
Sounds like a malt flavour.
Apparently, it's Romanian. The word Shokata. It's spelled Sokata.
Nice.
The S is the H is non-existent, but it's Romanian. It basically elderly in Romanian. It's what's the word I'm looking for? Translated to shock. Guess what, mate? Bad times ahead.
Yay.
Is there a best before on it? If you best you can tell.
It's in date.
Well, that's something.
Get it cracked open, get it drank.
I've got made on 7th of August, so I'm guessing that's the best before date. But...
Let's hope. I hope it's this year.
It's, yeah, it says 17 on it, so that's alright.
Oh, you're alright then.
You can see it. It wants to.
Oh, there we go. That's an opening of a can, alright. Chin chin. What does it smell like?
Shit.
Oh. Hello?
Oh, I'm still there.
Okay.
Yeah, it smells like floor cleaner.
Nice.
Down in one.
Funny enough, that's one of the chants Mark got. That's one of the chants Mark got when he turned up at the table with one of them big fucking drinks.
In one, down, in one, down, in one, down, in one, down, in one,
Try.
down, in one,
See if I don't care.
Go for it, Coxy. Oh.
Bad.
It's what?
Bad.
It's not bad.
It's pretty good, actually. Quite a lot.
You're breaking up, fella.
Yeah, I was going to say, could barely hear that.
It's quite nice, actually. I quite like that.
All right.
No. It's horrible.
damn.
See, we've had 2 taste tests in a row now on this podcast, and they've both been relatively pleasant. So
It's weird, that.
I know. What's happened to all the horrid food? Send us horrid food.
Yeah.
There you go. Try shit on a stick.
I didn't realise shit was edible. But yeah, I'm gonna have to visit that shop in the new market down South Shore that says sell funky food. And like my mother tried to kill me with a few months back. So
Oh, yeah.
we'll have to have a look down there, I think, at some point. We'll have to get something funky in. I did actually spot a few things actually that I am willing to try on the show. For example, I've already tried that with you, Alan. You enjoyed it.
Yeah, no denying that fact.
Home Bargain, I did spot that they did something. Do you remember Pot Noodle Company or Golden Wonder back in the day? It was, wasn't it? You used to have variants of pot noodle. There was pot rice.
Yeah.
And there was pot mash. Now, Home Bargains sell like a cheap version of pot mash.
Oh dear.
So I'm willing to try that. I know one was butter flavour and one was onion. So I'm going to try the onion one when I can get my hands on it.
Add cheese to it, makes everything taste better.
No, you're wrong.
Of course it does.
But I also found something else, which was it was a post on Facebook because my friend had found it. Alan, you know him as, and I think Coxy knows him as well. Ken Higgins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Kenny Higgins.
I've met him before. I don't think we're.
You know of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know of him. Me and Alan go way back with him. I think Alan even further. But yeah, he managed to find a very, very, very specific flavour of rock. And I want to try it on the show. It is garlic bread flavoured rock.
They do all sorts. They also do weed flavoured, Jägermeister flavoured, vodka flavoured. There is one that I'm sure someone said pizza flavoured. There's loads. Yeah, I know the brand. You know the rock shop near the tower?
Yes.
Yeah, well, by Poundland, down that little stretch. Just there. They sell them all there.
Is it on the front?
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'll have a look-see down there then, because
between Talbot Square and Poundland, that stretch of shops on the front.
Right, I'll have a look-see, because I do need to invest in some of this funky rock.
They also do other interesting stuff in there, but I'll leave that to your imagination when you go there next week.
Yes, I think this may have to happen. So yeah, we'll go.
Juice is a cock-flavoured lollipop.
Wouldn't surprise me, especially with the temperament that our town is now headed into. So if you get sperm-flavoured rock, say no more.
So yeah, we're going to try that out. So. You can say this feature will probably be quite welcome to one of these people's presenters, Penny, because she's never been to Blackpool, as far as I'm aware. So
we have to do a crap sack for her. Just send useless, crappy trinkets of Blackpool.
Well, funny enough, I'm going to give her a quick plug now. She's got like a surprise box, sort of like a loot crate, that she's now sort of promoting. I cannot remember for the life of me what it's called, so I apologise, Penny. But what I will do is I will leave a link in the description of the podcast so people can click on it to go and have a look for themselves. So, yeah, go and check that out. And on that note of planning basically me being sick at some point, we'll have a short break and we'll be right back after these short messages.
Hey, this is Coxy, reminding you to check out the Lost Art of Podcasting. We cover reviews, interviews, listener topics, our own topics, we even take a general look at life and the world around us. So I'll find the Lost Art Podcasting on Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes, even YouTube and all of the good podcast places.
Hi, don't forget to support the RAD podcast by visiting us on Facebook and liking the page. Also going on Twitter using the hashtag UKRAD Podcast and at UKRAD Podcast. You can find this podcast on Spreaker, Stitcher, YouTube, iTunes, and many other places that support podcasts. Don't forget to also support our friends at the Lost Art of Podcasting by visiting their page on Facebook. On Twitter, they are at Lost Art Podcast. And you can also find them on Spreaker, Stitcher, YouTube, and iTunes, as well as other good podcast providers. Don't forget you can also support the These People podcasts. They are a great little podcast that we have discovered recently. You can find them on iTunes and Spreaker, and you can visit their website at www.thesepeoplepodcast.com. And also don't forget to support the sponsor of the Preston City Wrestling Fan Prediction League, Avant-Garde Security. They specialise in home security, CCTV, and gatehouse security. So if you feel like your house needs a bit of security beefing up, or you just want a bit of CCTV, or you're a business and you want some gatehouse security, or even door security, go to www.avant-guardsecurity.co.uk. That's www.avant-guardsecurity.co.uk. Now it's back to the RAD podcast. Hi, and welcome back to this week's edition of the RAD podcast. We was, just as we left before, starting to talk about things in Blackpool, like rock. Now, obviously, the time of the year is, it's a 1 week before Easter, which means that the season starts again in Blackpool. Now,
Actually started for us last Friday.
Yeah, so it starts when the kids start the half term, isn't it? So, yeah. Well, the Easter holidays, not half term. Now, I want to know. Obviously, this question is probably not for Lewis, but it may be so. I don't know because I don't know how often. It could be. It could be. We don't know. What are the worst things about Blackpool in season and the best things about Blackpool in season? And I'm going to start with the man that is working in one of the main attractions for Blackpool this year, Adam Cox. We will not mention the attraction that you're in.
Please don't, because in case people listen to this, it will get me in shit.
Exactly. So there's no mentions of the establishment he's in, please. So.
Oh.
But yes, what are your thoughts?
starters, the traffic is a pain in the arse.
Here.
Should ease with the opening of the bridge today.
It's not that though. It's the promenade. The promenade's always bad, regardless of bridge or no bridge.
Slow walking people.
I fucking hate that. The worst culprit road for that, I find, it's not even a main road like the promenade, even though the promenade is fucking awful for it. It's one further back, and is it Bonnie Street or New Bonnie Street? It's Bonnie Street. The one that goes along the side of the police station. Yeah, that one is awful. And you got them walking down there all line astern, and you're just trying to get past.
Yeah.
And as many a time I've gone down that road, and as I walk past, I go, "Fucking tourists!" I just walk off. It just does my tree, and I hate it. It's one of them. It's one of the main things I absolutely detest about the tourists. It's their attitude of thinking that they can take up the entire pavement.
Yeah.
I hate it. Absolutely hate it.
What else?
While you're thinking then, Alan, what's some of the worst things about the season?
Tourists.
What specifically about tourists?
In general, right? Because I work in a venue where I will get stag and hen do's, all party goers and all that coming to ours. It's the people in general. They leave the common sense at home and seem to think they could do fucking everything they want. They could do anything they want in Blackpool.
Young farmers. Sorry.
Oh, see, young farmers are great. I love them, but at the same time, it's stupidity. But no, it's like funniest one I saw, because where I work, we've got the tram lines opposite us, and just a little bit further down from us is the junction for Lytham Road, which goes on to the promenade.
Don't give yourself too many clues to where you work.
Yeah, it's fine. It's plenty. And just at that point there's it all kind of merges, the tram lines and the whole which word I'm looking for, the whole junction all merges into one, and it is quite confusing. And you get the idiots that go down the tram lines, clearly with two massive signs on the side, right, sitting there going like, "Oh look, no entry." Right? They still go down there.
Yeah,
it was like back in the day up by the Metropole. There was one there as well, if you remember.
Yeah, now it's sealed away, isn't it? So
it's all sealed.
Oh, we've lost Alan. We've lost Alan yet again, but hopefully he'll be back.
I'm back.
Hey.
Yeah, my laptop decided he was having a close down and went, nope. But yeah, it's idiots like that.
What, your laptop?
Yeah, close down. But it was just like people just no common sense. It was like yesterday, prime example, a guy stopped in the middle of the prom. Stopped. And this was just by Coral Island, and got out of his car, went over to sort something out, and blocked the whole entire fucking road.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
In the car, it was just like, no wave or sorry or anything like that. There was a queue. People getting pissed off because someone just did that. I was like, why? You moron.
Speaking of awkward roads in Blackpool, all I want to know is, and you were talking about the junction of Rigby Road, Manchester Square, round there. What I want to know is how nobody has died trying to cross Rigby Road.
There's been plenty of people.
Yeah, because there's many a time I live near Rigby Road, and there's many a time me and my partner have come round the corner around there, and there's people crossing the road, even though it's a green light.
Oh, you get it. People do that.
Yeah.
You see, there's a car, there's a break. Well, we can leg it across. Oh shit, there's another car. We didn't see that one. Bang.
Yeah.
But going from the negativity to the positive, once again, it's the tourists. Blackpool can't do anything or survive as being a town without the tourists.
Yeah, I mean, it's our lifeblood, isn't it, mostly?
Yeah, you got hit by two sides here. You get some of the tourists who come in every year without fail, and they always come in. They're a good laugh. You have a joke with them. You stick them. You remember them. They come in the following year, and you sit there, go, "Oh yeah, how's things? Is everything all right back at home?" It's like, yeah, we're having a great time. They're the great tourists. That's what we should be aiming for. Not dickhead families. Not dickhead fucking stag do's or hen do's. And when I say dickhead families, it's when you get the whole entire Kyle show family coming out on the piss.
You want the roadie here, mate?
Yeah,
Half the Jamboree Cow show is in Blackpool. But yeah, you're right on this fact about tourists.
There's actually a funny one, actually. It was last year. This girl come in where she was with her mates, and everyone was like, "Oh, yeah, you see her? Yeah. Oh, I'm going to see if I can get a picture taken with her. Yeah, okay. Well, who the fuck's she? Thinking it's someone famous. No, she was a guest on the Jeremy Kyle show. It was like, what the fuck? Seriously, is that how someone
claim to fame?
Yeah, claim to fame. Oh, I've been on the Jeremy Kyle show. I'm a celebrity.
Claim to fame. I failed the lie detector and fucked my best friend's mate.
No. So this is funny, bit. So I asked, what she go on the show for? Because apparently she was.
He's gone again, hasn't he?
No, I'm still here.
Right, so again,
fucking cliffhanger, Alan.
We were getting to the juicy part then.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, apparently she was sleeping with her other half's brother, and she got pregnant.
Nice.
So it was a double DNA test. You ready for this? They're both not the dad. So it was like, wow.
And you wonder why. And you wonder why Blackpool's got
brag about.
I know. You wonder why Blackpool's got a lot of people got web feet. Fucking hell.
Fucking believe it. I was just sat there. The girl I was working with, she just had a head in her arms, like hand in her arms, just going, "Oh my god, really?"
I know. Fucking terrible.
But she was loving it. She was there going, proper selfies and all that. And she was smiling and everything, all jumping around. I went, "You don't fucking show your face after that. You've just basically been proven outright you're a fucking slag."
Buy me a drink. I open my legs.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong though.
Fuck's sake. But you are right when it comes to the tourists being the positive and the negative, because the positive side is they bring money to the town, and when they are decent tourists. I will say the decent families that come to spend money, they don't cause trouble, just here to have a nice time, have a bit of a break, and then go home. They're the all right ones, and they're the ones we don't mind. It's the dickheads that come that are intent to get as pissed as possible, to cause as much trouble as possible, and just shag anything that moves. And they're the ones that give the town a bad name. And it doesn't help.
This is why you don't find the Welsh here in Blackpool, because there isn't any sheep.
Callan. But yeah, as a non-native to Blackpool, Lewis, what are your thoughts on that? On the positive and negative side of the season starting?
To be honest with you, I don't. The only other times I venture out to Blackpool, which is inevitably to visit the
tribe,
the people at the Morrison household.
Yeah, the Morrison tribe.
It's mainly just a case of staying there, so I don't really get out and about in the Blackpool lifestyle. I do remember, like, a couple of years ago, going to Blackpool, Pleasure Beach, Blackpool.
Yeah.
It was quite a number of years ago with a few mates, and I remember going around about June time then, and the weather was fucking scorching. It was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous weather. The park at the time was pretty much empty, so we didn't have to queue up for that much, and that's probably been like my most positive outing ever to Blackpool. It's probably not saying much, but
I'd say an empty Pleasure Beach is probably fucking pretty spiffy, if you ask me. Anything negative? Every other fucking time.
Traffic.
Yeah, traffic can be a bit of a pain in the arse. Queues to the fucking chippy. Jesus Christ! When you're literally only wanting a bag of chips, and you've got a fucking queue behind 20 other people.
I mean,
who are ordering for families with 20 people in them.
Fucking hell, yeah. I mean,
Can be a bit fucking annoying.
the queue for Harry Ramsden's used to be fucking legendary.
It still is.
It still is.
Even though it's actually moved, I went past the other day. Well, about 2 weeks ago, when it was like quite bright sunny weekend, and there was a queue of about 15, 20 people queuing down the prom to get in Harry Ramsden on the seafront still.
See, that's small compared to what I've seen. I mean, you remember where it used to be? It used to be the takeaway thing that goes. You had to go round the corner and up a little bit, not to go in the restaurant. The queue reached to the front doors of, there used to be a shoe shop on the front to there.
Oh, yeah,
So you're probably talking about 60, 70 people deep for a queue.
More than that, probably.
Yeah, probably more than that.
But then
Sounds like the queue. It sounds like a queue for the Jeremy Kyle girl.
Well, the thing is, though, I used to wander over when they moved the takeaway bit round to the actual prom. I just sort of sometimes just saunter in straight past everyone and go, "Get large shits, please." Pay me $1.50 and like just throw some salt and vinegar on and fuck straight off.
You walk out going tra la 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 la.
I'm fucking local.
Like, I said to him one time, I was like, "Look, I've got to go back to work in a minute." And then after that, they sort of began to recognise me, so they started like having it ready for when I walked in.
The perks.
But the thing is, though, like the amount of times I've been passing the bus when it's been like absolutely pissing it down, and seen people still up there with an umbrella or whatever, just because they want to go in Harry Ramsden. And it's like, I didn't find it that good.
No.
It's worse. So much better chippies around Blackpool than fucking Harry Ramsden's.
It's worse than the queues for waiting for Joe Longthorne. The old granny's waiting for Joe Longthorne.
It was quite funny. I haven't seen it so far this year, but last year, when they reopened the entrance on the prom at the tower, and people were queuing up, and the doors were locked, so they had to go around the back to go to it. But people were still queuing up. It was like, you dumb fucks, you can see the doors are closed, why are you queuing up? Go around the back, all is good.
Yeah, I can't say enough because I've done that something similar before, but I'm a fucking idiot, so hey ho.
You're officially
you saying it, not us.
Yeah, that's me saying it. I'm trying to think of now the more positive and negative sides possibly to, well, for us in general, for the season starting, especially for Alan, more hours, more money. For me, it doesn't really make a difference because I'm one of them jobs which isn't seasonal. So it doesn't really affect me too much. And seeing as I don't work or live in the touristy bit of Blackpool, doesn't really affect me as much.
But you technically live in the touristy area.
Yeah, but it's where the tourists don't go. So it's not too, but I'm just literally on the border of it. So
whereas me, I live on the outskirts, so it's a lot quieter and we don't get idiots.
You're practically a Cleveland zombie, so...
No, Bisbee.
Yeah, it's still, you fall out of bed, you're in Cleveland. I think we all live pretty much out of the way from the tourists, thankfully. Yeah. But there was once upon a time where I used to live literally, if you leaned out of my living room window, you could see the arcade machines in Central Pier. So I've lived right in the slap bang in the middle of it, and I'll be brutally honest, I quite enjoyed it because everything's on your doorstep, and I quite enjoyed the hustle and bustle. And I'm one of these people. I lived in the countryside for 2 years, and for the first 6 months, I found it very hard to get to sleep because I wasn't used to the silence. Man. It's really weird. It was pitch black. There was no traffic going past. There's no street lamps. It was when you get coming through your window, you've got nobody walking past talking or anything like that. It was just deathly silent, pitch black. You couldn't tell the difference if you shut your eyes and opened your eyes. It was that dark, and it was like, this is fucking weird because there's nothing happening. And obviously when you're in Blackpool, in the middle of it all, in the middle of the season, even at 2 o'clock in the morning, you've still got some dickheads drinking their Super Skull, walking down the street. So it's always something going on. It was almost like a lullaby in a weird kind of way, but that's the one thing I do like about it is sort of like the hustle and bustle, and it's like there's always something going on. But at the same time, for me, that's also a negative because when you want some peace and quiet, you can't fucking get it. Do you know what I mean? So it's, for me, that's a double-edged sword. Obviously, for me, going into town when it's rammed, like Bankay Street, Coxy, you'll attest to this, going between Poundland and Poundland. It's a fucking mission getting from one to another because Bonny Street, you can't get through.
Yep.
It's like a Krypton Factor assault course. You're zigzagging everywhere.
It's zigzagging. It's the same in you go in Primark, though. It's the same thing.
Oh, fuck me. Don't start me on Primark.
You get people coming in and going, oh, Blackpool's got a Primark.
It's not only that, mate. I've heard this from a supervisor in there as well. It's one of the things at 12 mega stores in the UK.
Yeah.
I mean, Preston's one looks like a shed compared to what we have. It is tiny compared to what we mean. The whole of Preston's store you can fit
in one floor.
On the first floor of Primark in Blackpool. It is huge.
It's like the only really good thing that comes out of it is like they bring money in at the town, we get ours. And like Notchani's opens again.
Yes. Everyone in Blackpool will agree with that comment.
Yes, Notchani's. I mean, there's a place called Scoop that say they're the best ice cream parlour in Blackpool. But have you actually tried Notchani's? If you have, you know you're a fucking liar. You can't call yourself an ice cream parlour when you get all your ice cream from Mr. fucking Whippy.
No, you cannot call yourself a sand duna unless you like a Notchani's.
A sand duna?
Yeah.
Sangronan.
Sandruna. Sangronian. Sanduna.
Oh, God. Was you born in Blackpool, Alan?
No, I was born in Bristol.
Then you're not a Sangronan.
Fuck off.
Do you know what? I was born in Blackpool, Alan.
No, you're not.
I was born in Blackpool, but I'm not a Sangronan.
You donkey lash you.
Because my mum and dad weren't born in Blackpool, so...
Well, technically, if we're going to call that then, I'm saying half and half.
Yeah, maybe, but you need to have... Your mum and dad needs to be born in Blackpool, and you need to be born in Blackpool. That makes you a Sangronan. It goes back 2 generations, apparently. That's the rules for it.
I was christened in Blackpool. I've spent 3/4 of my life in Blackpool, therefore I am Blackpoolian.
Yeah, you're Blackpoolian.
Yeah. Like a better Scouser.
Blouser.
Yeah, Scouser.
Blouser.
A blouser.
Sounds about right with that fucking gay bars we've got.
A blouser. Is that where Richard comes from? That's a smashing blouse he got on. You're a blouser.
I'm a blouser, dear.
Funnily enough, there's actually a poster up in the Star pub at the Pleasure Beach where they advertise like Rick Mailbin there in like 1994 or something.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, the Star Pub's quite a nice pub. I quite like it. It's just, it's very, very expensive.
It's not too bad. It's just out the problem is for the pub itself is they try and rely on the tourist trade, but no one stays down south anymore.
Yeah, that's the quiet part, isn't it now?
But they were getting bands on, but they were getting like maybe 3 people in.
Oof.
And every time I went in, it was like deadly quiet, but. It's like because it's out of the way as well, because people don't want to go down there to see a band and then have to get on a tram to go to town or a bus or whatever.
That's why the Royal, not the Royal Oak, it is Royal Oak, the one on the corner and opposite from the... Yeah, they were doing the same. They were pushing bands out of their ears and they weren't getting the trade.
Yeah, it died of death.
Did you know there was a... nightclub on Waterloo Road?
Yes, I used to go in it.
Below where?
Below what?
Was it below or above Iceland?
Above.
It was one of the two.
Below.
Above.
There was one below as well.
Yeah.
I used to go to the one below.
It was further down. Riffs, it was called.
Yeah.
It was on near the what was the pub called?
The Bull?
Dunes?
No, it was further down on the. It was on the corner.
Rams and Arms?
No, that's where the Rams and Arms. That's over by the Blackpool North.
Rams and Arms. What am I thinking then?
You're thinking of
Dutton. No.
Dutton Arms.
That's it. No, yeah, Dutton Arms, not Ramsden.
The Dutton Arms is on the prom opposite McDonald's.
That's right.
I used to work there.
Yeah.
You're manager of that McDonald's.
Yeah.
I walked in the other week to have a look, and I was like, "Wow, this place has changed."
But yeah, I would say, I don't know. Would you say? Yeah, I'd say it's a positive that the season started. Obviously, mainly for our pockets. That's probably the most important thing, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'm still bewildered by the family that turned up one time. I think it was like early December when I was at my old job, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we came down to see the lights, and they're not on, and everywhere seems to be shut." And I was like, "Well, it's December. I think it was like the Christmas period or something as well." I was like, "It's early Christmas. It's December, and we're seasonal." Oh, well, we've come from Nottingham for the day, and nowhere's open. I was like, "Yeah."
You fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up.
They went, "Oh, so when do you come into the lights?" And I was like, "Anytime between September and November." And they're like, "Oh, so a bit out of time then." I was like, "Well,
yeah.
Why didn't you think to research it beforehand?"
This is it.
Rather than just think, "Oh shit, we're going to jump in the car and go to Blackpool and see the lights and stuff," and then nothing's open and it's like
there's no lights.
Car ride or whatever for nothing.
Yeah.
Can I change the whole worst thing for me and actually have the Blackpool Illuminations?
Yes, you can.
Because the fucking traffic.
Yeah, it's bad.
And people, right? It was like last year we decided to take the kids along the stand-ups on...
the best bit, you mean?
Yeah, the statics on Bispham.
Yeah, the big massive bits. Yeah, the best bit.
We took the evil penguin, that is, Matt, along with us. And even Matt was like, "Oh, I can't believe this. This is dire." And not because of the illuminations, even though they're starting to get a bit outdated and it's the same thing over and over again. It was just the amount of people who want to take pictures and they just stop. It's like, "What you doing? Fucking move!"
Yeah.
They were the same as last year, and the time before that, and the time before that, and the time before that.
What gets me is the if you're walking along or even driving along at some point, is the people that are trying to flog the
the lights.
Yeah, they've got a fucking death wish.
They do irritate you because they just sit there, they just stand there, they just walk out in front of you. It's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, it's like the zombies, the tramps out of South Park, isn't it? Going change lights.
Oh, another thing that irritates me as well about the illuminations, the parents who allow their kids out of the sunroof.
Oh God, I hope they crash.
It was just like, "You dozy fucking bastards." It was like, oh, it's even worse when they've got the fireworks on as well at the same time.
Yeah,
you may as well not go to town. Or walk anywhere near the town area, like North and Central Pier. In fact, tell a lie, from Central Pier to Ginn Square, it is impossible to move or go through.
Yeah,
I made the mistake once. I thought, I'll just nip along the prom on the bike. Forgot it was fireworks night to go to work. And it took me 2.5 hours stuck. So I thought I'll divert down side of Dixon Road and jump down that way. Nope, that's chocker.
Yeah.
So every time when the fireworks on or the illumination's on, I have to ride out now the bridge is back in. I ride out to the zoo and come in that way. from my house, it's an extra 5.5 miles of travelling.
But it's quicker.
It's the quickest route. It is insane.
It's amazing how congested the town can get.
Yeah, it's like... Then you get people asking you, "Excuse me, mate, what time do the fireworks start?" Do I look like I know shit? Should I know it? No. So it'll start when it goes off.
Because you got that Blackpool stench on you, Matt Allen. That's why they expect you that you know shit.
What time did they turn on the illuminations? Like when it's
dark. Don't worry, I can't see it.
What time are they on till? Says they don't usually switch off till 2 a.m. How do you know that? Because they're still fucking on when I come home from work.
Sometimes they're on all night, aren't they? So
yeah, certain ones they will keep on because they do take a while to heat up and to turn back on, so they keep it on instead of just like going right. We'll turn it on at 5 o'clock, then walk away and come back in. Oh, they're not working. Shit. So they just turn it on.
Yeah, but shall we move on anyway? Because I think we battered that subject to death, but it was worth it. What shall we say? Well, there was a bit of a topic. I mean, we're going slightly back to These People podcast. I think we're going to wrap up the show after this pod as well, because I know, Coxy, you've got to get dash off, haven't you, soon? So, is Coxy there?
And I want to go back to Mass Effect.
Is Coxy there? Hello, Coxy.
Sorry, I'm here.
Yeah. So I know you've got to dash off soon, haven't you, mate? So.
Yeah, I've got work in the morning.
Yeah, so we'll probably wrap it up on this subject. It's going to be a slightly brief podcast this week. And it was a topic that was been brought up on These People. Now, I answered this question really, really, really badly when I was on These People podcast, which is going to be also almost like a lost episode of These People podcast because it went tits up again. So it's not going to be out. It's not going to be released into the wild until Lee works some absolute utter magic with it and somehow gets it out there. But there was I was asked by Penny, was there any like celeb crushes that you have, or that you celebs that you like, and you have absolutely no fucking idea why? It's unfathomable why. Why you like these, you're not your typical attractive celebrities, but you like them and you don't know why.
That's interesting.
I thought it was a cracker.
No, I kind of want to know what you said.
Well, I couldn't think of one at the time, and I just says I don't really have a crush on like any sort of celebrity, sort of like at that moment. But I really was like proper bursting brain cells to try and think, is there anybody in the celebrity world that I do kind of find attractive? And the only person I could think of was the person I've mentioned, I think, before on this podcast, Sophie Turner. But that's not an unfathomable one. That's a relatively, oh yeah, she's actually quite attractive, sort of so forth. So that was a really, really, really shitty answer. So, but I'll tell you what, though. I don't know what it is, but I used to thinking back years and years and years and years, thinking, who did I used to have weird crushes on, who we used to see on the TV? And then it fucking struck me the other night. It was like, for some random weird, fucking stupid, daft reason, I used to find Laurel out of Emmerdale attractive.
Who?
Laurel.
Yeah.
No, I have no clue. I don't know who you're on about.
Ashley's wife.
Yeah, she's alright looking.
Yeah, I was fucking myself, why the fuck do you find her attractive? You just do. Another one as well, which is a weird one, Fizz out of Corrie. I didn't like Fizz, and I don't know why. I think she's not too bad.
Ginger afro with a gap tooth.
I don't know why.
That's it. There's I can't remember. Game of Thrones. I'm gonna have to look this up because I can't remember.
Is it the girl who plays Gilly?
No, because
in real life though, she's fucking stunning.
No. She's weird looking in Game of Thrones, but she's quite fit looking in.
Is it the really tall lass that plays? Is it Gwyneth Tarth? Brienne of Tarth.
Of who? No, but she's fit anyway. No,
Brienne of Tarth. Yeah, she's actually really pretty.
Yeah, she's actually a model.
Yeah.
That's how she got found, but she's like 6 foot odd. No, God, the the sister of the Oceanborn, whatever they are. Oh, I can't remember the name.
Oh, the lesbian one?
No. Well, maybe.
I know who you mean. It's Theon Greyjoy's sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, her. She's pretty. She's fit.
She was on the One Show last week, and I was going, oh, she looks familiar. Well, she's quite nice. Where do I know her from? She looks really familiar. And then they started talking about Game of Thrones. Went, oh shit! It's Theon's sister. Holy shit! She looks so different. and once again, she's also in Mass Effect Andromeda.
Is she?
Yeah, she plays a character in that.
All right.
So I'm sat there going, well, it's actually quite a few Game of Thrones stars on Mass Effect Andromeda.
Don't know if you knew this, Alan, as well, but you know the actress that plays Trinity out of The Matrix?
Yeah,
Speaking of Mass Effect.
She's also in it.
She's in, not Andromeda, but she's in Mass Effect 2 and 3.
Yeah.
As Arietta Logue.
Yeah, also she's in all the Marvel Defenders at the moment.
That's Jessica Jones, and she's also appeared in Iron Fist.
Oh, there you go then.
Daredevil.
Did she appear in Daredevil as well?
Yep. She's the one that was fighting Daredevil's case. Well, what's his name's cases.
Oh, of course she was. Yeah.
But yeah, we're going slightly off topic there, Alan. What was you got any more unfathomable crushes that you used to have or do have now?
Yeah. John Barrowman. I just think he's a fucking sexual man. If I would turn gay with him, I'd be the most happiest man alive. I can't fathom it. I'm straight as they come, I'm no interest in that sort of thing whatsoever. But there's just something about him I absolutely fucking love. And
he's your man crush. He's your man crush.
He's my man crush. I just can't fathom it. It's like, why?
Nothing wrong with that.
Makes no fucking sense.
Nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with that. What about who do I pick on next? Go on, Lewis. You next, mate.
There's only really two that I can think of. One would be Michelle Rodriguez.
She's not bad looking though. She's got a weird.
I know, but she wouldn't be one of those ones that you just go, "Oh my god, she's absolutely stunning."
She's like a Ferrari. She's like a Ferrari with a dent in it.
It's a bit. She's got like a bit of a tomboy look to her.
Yes.
Yeah, it's always that the hard man thing. It says, I'm so anti-feministic and all that malarkey.
Yeah. You're
it's
almost
good butch lesbian.
My clit is so big it's almost like a small penis sort of thing.
She's got bigger balls than all four of us.
Nuts like basketballs.
I wouldn't put it past. And I don't really know. I'm not sure.
It's a hard one.
I know, because I know if I know that I
I've
don't
just thought of another one.
Sort of like I don't want to stray on the side of caution. Just
go on, just do it. Just do it. Kick it out there.
I sort of have a thing for Maisie Williams.
She's not unattractive.
Well, I know she's not I know she's not unattractive, but it's the simple fact of she's so young. I don't want to be giving off the impression.
Yeah, but if you go with, it depends what you mean, though. I mean, if you're talking about, I fancied Maisie Williams when she was in season 1 of Game of Thrones, or I fancied Maisie Williams when she's in the end of season 6. There's a big fucking difference there.
And she's now 19, so you're allowed to.
Yeah, you're allowed.
That's like Hermione Granger. That's on the thing with Hermione Granger. What's her name? Emma Watson.
And the Olsen twins.
Yeah, that sort of thing. So he's like...
Well, the thing is, I had a thing for her when I was growing up watching the Harry Potter movies, and she's technically older than me, so...
Well, there you go, mate.
Yeah.
There you go, it's absolutely fucking fine.
Thank Christ for that.
Fucking hell, a bit...
Because I was just thinking, good news, I'm not going to jail!
Oh, fuck's sake, mate. I just thought of another one, by the way, and I don't understand why. Are you familiar with the swimmer Rebecca Adlington.
Yeah.
Shoulders Adlington.
Yeah, I quite like her.
Beth Tweddle would be another one. Just
yeah,
because
Beth
she's
Tweddle.
sort of, I don't know. She's got sort of like a horrific. She's got like a bit of an overbite, and her nose is a little bit thin looking, but she's very, very pretty.
Yeah, I'll second that. Actually, she's not bad at all. She really isn't. But yeah, I don't know what it is about Rebecca Adlington. I was like, yeah, she's not too bad looking. You know, a lot of people take the piss out of her, but.
I'm just deciding now. I'm sort of at the point where I'm flicking through my Twitter follows.
You mean he's liar? Do you know what it is? Because he's flicking through his wank bank.
Yeah.
He's flicking through.
My wank bank is right up there with my wrestling Rolodex, so I don't need to. I don't need to go too far.
He's literally got a photographic memory.
I wouldn't go that far.
Still gets lost come to mind.
Oh, fucking hell. Don't worry, mate. I would as well. I've still got to figure out which road it's got to turn up yet. Are we still flicking through, Coxy?
Well, I could go to my likes, which is like thousands of pictures, but I got told off for that once.
What? This is a story you're going to have to tell now.
No, there's one of my friends once, like a girl he was seeing. She started following me on Twitter, and I saw her like a week later. I think it was at like a open mic or something like the Galleon. And we just say like, it's like, oh yeah, is everyone alright? It's like, yeah. And she just takes a sip of a drink, looks at me, and goes, I'm looking away, and she just like. I could see she was looking right at me from like the corner of my eye. She goes, "You've got pictures like you favorited lots of naked pictures of ladies on your Twitter." I'm like, right, like sort of, I can feel beads of sweat forming on my forehead. At this point. I said, yeah, it's my Twitter. I was like, got something to refer back to, haven't you? And she's like, so do you not feel a bit weird like unlocking so many pictures? I was like.
Nope.
No.
I'm proud of my sexuality. I am proud that I wank to these. What more do you want in life?
Yeah, but it'll be alright for her to have pictures of like a fucking model bloke with his cock hanging out. That'll be fine.
You know what it is, don't you? She's feeling a bit upset because she's not in it.
Just send her a tweet. Just send her a tweet and say send nudes.
Well, this is before the send nudes movement.
You could have started it.
This is true, but yeah, never mind. The only two that sort of really come to mind for me is Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
Why not?
And Kat Dennings.
Not sure what she looks like.
Who was that?
She was in.
Go to Google! Go!
Yeah.
Kat what?
Kat Dennings.
I thought you
said Two Broke Girls or whatever.
There we are. Oh, she's in 4 as well.
Is that the one with the massive
That
tits?
is not yeah, that's not unfathomable whatsoever.
The one with the big tits.
Oh,
but she's good. No,
I
she crops up in Thor.
Yeah, I'm just saying, yeah. That's not unfathomable in the slightest. She'd get it twice over. Absolutely. I mean, that's relatively normal. Fizz from Coronation Street is fucked up. So, exactly.
I'd say that's the most out there.
You need to be shot for that. Fuck it. Oh,
I have an acquired taste, mate.
Is this pre or after fattiness? Because she's lost a shit ton of weight.
More relatively recently, I will admit.
The fat one from the Dingle family out of Emmerdale.
Oh, fuck off.
No, the other
Mandy Dingle.
Married.
Mandy Dingle.
Broken lyrics.
Mandy Dingle. Oh. Well, how many podcasts do you think this week have mentioned Mandy Dingle?
I'm gonna say none.
Fucking Mandy Dingle. That's on par with that.
Oh, fuck's sake. Buff Bagwell's mum.
Judy.
Oh, fucking hell. I'm just trying to think of
EastEnders. It's like what's her name? The one that she's gone into the Nick was originally in Bad Girls. The old crow. I can't remember the name.
Why are you asking me stuff about EastEnders?
I don't know. It's only been a passing thing because the wife watches it.
The only thing I ever associate with in EastEnders is singing the theme tune at Shah Samuels.
It has to be done. Do you think he actually did that on purpose?
Absolutely.
So it's right. I'm going to create a character. What can I use? I know what I can use. Entry and stuff.
East End Butcher.
There you go, mate.
I think it's literally one of them. It's just like East End Butcher, and the PCW crowd went right from the east end of London. What can we think about? What can we think about stuff that we can associate with London? Just like EastEnders is one. So just sing the theme tune, man.
That and the bill. I remember
fucking
hell.
hell.
The hotel, the crowd went wild, just started singing the Bill theme tune. That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I remember it. I'm just trying to think if there's anyone else that I would say was unfathomable. I would actually, in the celeb world, obviously, you know. Oh fuck, I can't think. There must be someone else.
Oh, there's one more than me. Colleen Nolan. I don't know why, but I really like her.
Yeah, I can see why.
Oh, it's bar two massive set of tits.
There is that.
But no, I just don't know what it is. It's just like you're not your average celebrity, and because she's from Blackpool,
Blackpool helps.
So I'm just how they're going. It is. I can't put my fingers down it. I don't
She's
like
low.
any of the other Nolan sisters. Just Colleen Nolan.
Just Colleen Nolan.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'll prod her Colin any day.
Hey, it's not. I don't know. I think it's not really unfathomable, really. But Holly Willoughby would get it.
I think
everyone would
in the UK. Even the gays would say that.
Yeah, exactly. So
everyone would plough Holly Willoughby. Holly Willoughby.
Holly Willoughby.
Plough. Have you been playing Witcher?
No, just been playing Mass Effect. I'm ploughing an Asari at the moment. It's all is good.
Oh, fucking hell. And on that bombshell, seeing as Coxy needs to fuck off at some point pretty imminently. And our blue bombshell, I think we'll wrap it up there on the fact that we've mentioned Mandy Dingle and apparently I fancy Fizz from Coronation Street. So, thanks.
Coming back to it from there.
There is not, no. I'm slightly jealous of Tyrone.
I wish I had a dog called Schmeichel.
Fucking hell. We'll throw this one out there as well. Another one that I do quite like off Corrie, and the only reason I do watch Corrie, by the way, is because the missus likes it. Same with Alan. I'm with you on that excuse. Alan. That's Sinead.
Who?
Sinead.
Oh, the weird-looking one.
Yes, the weird-looking one, the blonde one. The one that got pregnant and aborted. She was with Chesney.
Yeah, she's a bit odd-looking.
She's odd-looking, but she's also fit at the same time. It's a weird one.
She's not. She looks like my arse after a good curry.
What the fuck?
That's a random one.
That's incredibly random.
Incredibly random for a random-ass podcast. And on that note, I think we'll wrap up. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you very much for having me on as always.
Not a problem. Remember to go to Coxy's podcast. I'm fucking the plug up, so Coxy, take over.
Find us on Spreaker. Just search Lost Art of Podcasting. The same for iTunes, Stitcher, Facebook, Twitter. Just Google it. Fuck it.
Just Google it. Find it. You'll find it there. Lost Art of Wrestling and Lost Art of Podcasting. You will find it. Thank you, guys. just remember, there's plenty of podcasts out there, but not many of them are that rad or random or, have unfathomable crushes like Fizz. So yeah, thanks to remember to give us. That's the wrong program. Oh no, it's not the right program. Idiot! Oh, brain fart. Oh god, it's all gone tits up. It's all gone tits up. So yeah, just remember when you're giving us a review, just remember that I fancy Fizz and give us a 5-star review, and it might change my mind.
That doesn't even deserve a 1-star.
Well, at least it's a review. We've not got any yet, so we need a review. Give us reviews if you listen to us on any format. Give us a review. Even a like would help. So yeah, thank you for coming on, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And for all that means is I've been Paul the Hat Guy Flinders.
I've been Al Morrison.
Lewis has been Fizz.
Have I fuck? I'm not giving you the pleasure.
Lewis,
I wish.
Fizz.
God.
Do you like that, love?
The fuck's that?
Oh God. Jesus, it's all gone tits up. The outro's gone. The outro's just aborted.
Who gives a fuck?
Anyway, I've been Coxy.
And I've been that fucker from the South Coast.
And you've been listening.
Oh,
Just a random ass discussion.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, and good night.
Good night.